What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I apologize. I know it's been super long. I don't know quite what it's been. Maybe like a couple weeks or a month since my last upload. But I've had a lot of personal stuff going on, money also, and I don't really get a lot of revenue from YouTube to rely solely just to build the car. So a lot of it's coming out of my pocket and time as well. So I apologize. I've not done a lot. I've done a couple things off camera, but not crazy stuff. But I apologize to you guys. I'm gonna try to be a little bit more consistent. But personal life and priority takes I said it takes a presidency towards it. But I apologize for the fan noise ahead of time. It is super hot. It's 92 degrees in here. Close the garage. I know I should have kept it a little bit open, but I want privacy. So I had people pass and they keep looking at the car, and I get a little bit paranoid because I've had bad experience before. But I mean, a JDM front end black Integra passed by. I don't know how old the kid was, but he was staring at the car like crazy, and I had to shut the garage a little bit because I don't really trust. But he seemed like a nice guy. I don't know, his Integra, you can tell he's building it. ITR front end, pretty dope. But I don't know, I just want my privacy. So we're gonna be talking a little bit about the EVAP system. I know a lot of people don't care about this, but in a lot of states, people, when you do these swaps, first of all, I'm not entirely too, not subject matter expert when it comes to what to do, but I hope this kind of helps you a little bit if you're in one of those states that gets tested for emissions and stuff like that on your car, especially if you have a swap, which I don't understand exactly what you guys do. But keep in mind, if you do a swap and it's not something that you have on the car that the state is allowing you to have, kind of like a little label or something, then most likely you're going to be emitting really bad on if you get analyzed or something. I know there's ways of bypassing it, but I don't know too much of it. But I know, like, right off the top of my head, if you put cams on it, you're gonna fail. Headers, I believe that's also gonna hint you, but it's kind of hard because I have right there, those are our stock ones, and I mean, you're not gonna get no power whatsoever, but you can modify them to a point where, like, you're essentially running stock exhaust headers, and having your two catalytic converters, a primary and secondary, with the proper sensors and stuff like that. Obviously an intake box, like a stock box or something, and I am pretty sure you're going to be with the things I'm going to be sharing with you guys, you guys are going to be pretty much passing anything, because at that point it's just factory, like straight up factory. I know B series, for the most part, I think comes with an AGR system, but the K series doesn't really have it because it actually burns it from the engine. It doesn't have it, so from my understanding, it's pretty much the engine burning it back to the combustion chamber. But let's get right into it. I'm going to talk a little bit about anybody that's interested in keeping their EVAP system and what exactly to do if you have a kswap. And this is an Integra. I can't really vouch for other chassis because I don't know quite too much. I'm maybe going to elaborate a little bit on what I understand and what I've had uncovered, but I still haven't pinned anything out. But I'm pretty positive, which I'm going to be documenting as well. I'm just introducing this and talking about this, that it's going to work, because I looked at my schematics, which I'm going to put up here, and you guys can see I'm going back and forth with them, and I think I got it. Even though we basically, this is a SI engine, a FA5, I believe, SI 8 gen, yeah, but everything's pretty much RSX, like gut, like how it's running, like that's pretty much the skeleton, the actual base when you're doing kswap on these chassis. So I looked up RSX EVAP system, obviously a whole bunch of components, but a lot of it does not require the ECU to have input on it. This chassis obviously has a little bit less regarding those aspects, and a lot of it also is not assistant from like valves and stuff like that from the ECU. but I did notice that they both share a common interest, which is they both have a total of, I want to say 6 or 5 pins running to the ECU. So right off the bat, I knew that it was possible and it could be done. Granted, I have not tried it yet, but I already have everything figured out. I wrote it down so I won't forget. It's just a matter of me going through the motions and connecting everything and letting the ECU do its little thing. Obviously, I believe on K-Pro you have to enable the purge in order for it to start working effectively, because essentially it grabs all the gases back to the charcoal canister, and then from there it just keeps, it does this little thing because it starts to evacuate it from the charcoal canister once it gets really overloaded with the vapor gases. And people will get these if you smell like a lot of fuel, which I get that from this one. This one I've been getting it because it's not quite working. I thought I plugged everything, I kept everything, but it's not working, and I found out why. But let me start rambling. This is intro to this, and let's talk a little about the EVAP system if you're retaining it on your kswap. Well, this is an integral, but let's talk about it. I apologize for the fan. Let's get right into it. So right off the bat, the purge valve here, as you guys can see, I do not have a B series to compare it. But the or a D series, or whatever you're coming from, but this is the purge valve right here, and I'm gonna put the correct name here just in case. But that right there, as you guys can see, cycles, obviously it's vacuum, but it's actually cycling, you guys can see, back to the charcoal canister. And I'll tell you 2 versions of what you can run to make it a lot easier, because this one's not easy, but I kept the original one from the chassis because I want to make it work. And as you guys can see, let me turn the flash on to help you guys. Way better, sorry about that. As you guys can see, we got the charcoal canister in there, and I ended up putting a heat shield on it because it's super close to the headers, and that way I don't want it to fall apart. I don't know if it's quite up to part, but it's been okay. It's been holding pretty well. So, and then you guys can see we got that one running back to the tank, and then we got the 3-way valve here, which I believe on RSX you only have the 2-way valve. But you guys can see there is the plug right there. Other components of the vehicle, I mean of the EVAP system, I believe they're underneath, close to the gas tank, pretty similar to the RSX. And I believe the charcoal canister on the RSX might be near the gas tank as well, from what I was reading. But yeah, like from what you saw, I'm gonna put it again. These components here, that are ones that are dotted with the blue, are the ones that I found that are part for part the same thing as this chassis versus an RSX chassis. Obviously, you guys can see a whole bunch of components. RSX has a little more components, especially located close to the fuel tank. But if you guys can see, there's nothing requiring inputs or control wiring, if you guys can see, to the ECU. And I went and I traced every wire, and I think I have it. I converted it to what it will be if I was to put it on RSX. I still haven't done it yet, but this one you really don't have to touch anything other than plugging everything like you're supposed to, because that's already reading off the K-Pro or the ECU soon as you connect your conversion and engine harness. That one's working right off the bat if you decide to keep it. Which I noticed is I believe a yellow and blue wire, and then it has a black and yellow wire as well. So that one you guys don't have to do anything, so that takes one less thing for you guys to do. And as you guys, I'm gonna go inside in here and show you guys, super long clip. So I've been working on this, and I'll show you guys what I started with. I'm gonna look up my videos, and this is what it used to look like. I put it on a die, and I eliminated a lot of cables that I did not need for it. But all your EVAP wires are gonna be here, and I'm not gonna really tell you which ones they are right now, because that's once I start embarking on it and documenting this, so when I will start showing you guys. But essentially they're pretty much all on your A plugs. You guys can see here. I'm not sure if there's any on your B plug or Charlie plug, which I do have here just in case. But I try my best to label everything because I'm gonna forget. But the majority of them are going to be on your A plug, and I'll talk a little bit more about that, like I said, when I start documenting it, as in, like, you know, when it actually does work. But keep in mind that everything routes back to your E plug, your K series E plug, which is this one, which is part of your conversion harness. If you guys are confused, which we have the ECU there, and you'll have the spots up there, so I can't really see, but this one, I believe it's the A, B is in the middle, and then you will have far over there where that red wire is at, you will have the E plug. And this E plug, you guys can see a lot of empty spots, and these are where you're going to pretty much pass over all your EVAP stuff here, which I already have. I already figured out and put them in the correct slots in here. So as you can see, they're super empty because it's not even working. So the whole time I thought it was working, but it wasn't. When I started actually figuring things out, I was like, wait, the old ECU is not here, so there's nothing controlling it. Does on K series, it's control on this side, and you guys can see it is completely empty. So in theory, I believe, because I have not been able to find anything, like nobody's posted anything. People posted a little bit stuff, which I'm going to talk to you guys about, but nobody. So I don't know, like, but hopefully this will help out somebody that is interested in retaining their EVAP, because the state that they're living currently, you know, they have strict emission laws, and this will definitely help you guys out. And yeah, I was able to fix my ABS too, but maybe I'll talk about that in a different video and tell you what I did. I mean, it wasn't crazy. I didn't have to troubleshoot a lot of crap, to be honest. But yeah, so that's pretty much what it is. I'm gonna share with you guys, if you guys want to make it super simple, I'm not too sure about the 94s Integras, and I think like 97, because I'm not sure that a 98 will be as well, but I know like a 99 or a 2001, I believe they're all, even some 96, I believe 96 are OBD2. But if you want to just make it super simple, because this charcoal canister is obviously control with ECU inputs and stuff like that, just get a charcoal canister from a 96 Civic DX. It has two, let's see if I can find it, I'll put it up here so you guys can see. I actually have it for the EG, which is not completely hooked on, but I found it at the junkyard, and I was super lucky. But if I can show you guys, let me see, kind of like an idea of what it looks like. You guys can see right there, it kind of looks like that. So I'm trying to do this one hand. I apologize, it's not the best, but it looks like that, sorry. And what you were gonna do is, has two valves, and it's mainly operated by vacuum, so you really don't need anything commanding it. So none of the wires, you don't have to do any wires, none of that stuff. Just put it, and essentially, like, just you should be fine. I mean, there's other stuff in the back which I'm not sure if it's gonna work completely, but this is what I read from people that have I'm not sure if there's like first versions of the EVAP system, but the 96 charcoal canister has two valves, one that runs to the tank and then one that's running from right here. So as long as you get this enabling K-Pro or in your ECU, it's going to be functioning. But I know there's other valves which are located by the gas tank, and those ones might need input to actually work, because I mean, I guess you really don't care if the tank fuel temperature, pressure, whatever is building up. And remember, this is a return system, so with the B series there is a return system as well. A lot of these, like the RSX, is a returnless system, so you know, like, you need stuff for that to monitor a lot of the stuff, you know, that's because everything's kind of cycling back the tank to the rail, back to the rail. You know, on the new ones, it's pretty much all a pre-set amount that's flowing to the rail and injecting, and then injecting to the combustion chamber. But hopefully this helps somebody out. Like I said, this is just me diving into it. Once I start doing that, I'll document everything for everybody that is wanting to do this and try it and exactly what to do. But it's just me talking a little bit about the EVAP system. I know it's boring. Nobody really cares about EVAP system. But hey, if you're somebody that wants to drive a car daily, be emission more friendly and pass, you know, your emission tests or whatever, then this probably will be really interested in for you guys. But I do have it figured out. I'm not sure if it's gonna work or not. I've never seen anybody tried it. That's why I'm making this video. But you know, me putting the pins, it seems like it's gonna work. But I apologize if I have not been concise on some stuff or spoken a little bit or shown, like I had an issue showing you that one. But which, by the way, that's not the correct one. That's just the one that the EG brought, and that one has like 3 valves. I'm not sure if it'll even work, but I know the 96DX is super simple because it's pretty much, it's functioning by mechanical. You know, it's like the vacuum leads to this and that. You know, this one actually, you obviously needs input from the ECU, as you guys can see, for it to start, you know, actually working, because you know, it does take air from atmospheric to allow it and help it as well, from what I was reading. But yeah, that's pretty much going to conclude the video, you guys. I apologize if it's super long, but this is intro to that, and elaborating a little bit regarding the EVAP system for these chassis. I apologize if I don't know too much about the EGs or, you know, or EK, but it should be very, very similar because it's, you know, all the EVAP system. But remember, if you guys don't want to waste your time, you guys, I have an older model that doesn't have any of these stuff like that. Like for instance, this is a 92 and it doesn't have anything fancy like that, nothing like plugging into anything. All you have to do is just get a 9060X charcoal canister, which by the way, they're kind of hard to find. But if you can find one, get the correct vacuum hoses, boom boom, up there to the charcoal, from the charcoal back to that third, as you can see, the third last one that goes to the tank, and that's it. That's pretty much all you guys need. This is not as sophisticated because it's older, and this one's a little bit newer, but well, not new, but I guess EVAP system wise is a little bit more configured and a little bit more ECU input related. Then if you guys want to go this route, then you know, you can do this. But like I said, I don't know if it's gonna work. I can't wait to try it because I want to have my car running stock and daily as possible, pretty much like if this engine was meant for the car. And if you guys are trying to do that as well, then you know, stay tuned, because I hope it works, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get some coats on the cluster. But when I had my B series in here, I had no issues like actually with the EVAP system. But you guys can see EVAP systems can be really annoying. They can get you coats for no reason, but they do not affect your drivability. So yeah, so just keep you guys posted. Stay tuned for those videos. I'll be working on those, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. And I apologize, you guys.